Hey everybody, and welcome to a important update video regarding the Man of War series that I've started recently. Sorry you won't see anything really spectacular in this short update video, but I will be asking you guys some questions, and I hope you guys will give me some feedback. It will be very useful. But I also want to talk about my Star Wars series that I will do with the Man of War, which I think a lot of you will be interested in, and kind of like the future of how this is going. So. To start out, you might have noticed the cinematic videos that I have created recently, and they were a great success. Got insane good amount of feedback. People wanted to see a lot more, and the good thing is that at the moment I actually they're the perfect type of video for me to make, because even though they require a lot of time to make and produce. Currently, next week is my final week of school this semester, and that means that I, of course, don't have a lot of time to necessarily play video games actively. But what I do is, in between breaks of studying or editing videos for school, I like to listen to podcasts to relax. And while listening to podcasts, usually I play like a game to relax, like a city builder or something like that. And in this case, I make scenarios like this, and then I create the cinematics with it. In case you are wondering, the next cinematic is already underway. Here you have a little bit of a sneak peek. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that. Already got some really cool requests from you guys on what type of cinematics you want to see, so definitely going to have those types in the future as well. It was actually a shame. I was working on another one for Call to Arms, but it was a custom map, and literally today Call to Arms was updated and I could not play it anymore, so that was a lot of hours wasted, but it wasn't that good anyway. I was actually going to use that just for this update video, not necessarily for cinematic. Anyway, one of the issues, I'm going to talk about Star Wars in a little bit, just bear with me for a little while, because what I wanted to ask you guys about is the direction that the Man of War series that I'm having is going to take. So, obviously, I started the Man of Mayhem, that's what I called it, as a series where, sorry, do you want me guys, do you want to, shall I just play this, I guess? And just talk about while they fight. So, I started out as a series where I would do scenarios like I do in Epic Arma. Epic Arma are the short scenarios where large scale battles pretty much unfold, and I thought that Man of War was a game and an editor that allowed me to do that as well. But the cinematic qualities that it now offers are second to none, and I'm really enthusiastic about using that to actually create really unique scenarios and storylines that I think will be a lot more appealing. Now, because of this, I was actually thinking of maybe not doing the regular Man of Mayhem scenarios anymore, where I actually take part and play. You can actually see this is literally the scenario of my very first cinematic. I actually recorded this and played it, yet I did not make it public. If you guys want to see something like that, I can still do that. But I am wondering how much of a demand is for those type of videos. People have been mentioning a lot that there are other YouTubers out there that do the same. People have been asking me to work together with Deeplex, is a very famous Man of War player out there. And I checked out several channels who were doing Man of War gameplay or scenarios. Mostly Star Wars, though. I got a list from somebody in the comments to check out. And I checked it out, and what I noticed was actually that some of the channels are smaller than mine, some of them are bigger, is that a lot of them got comments saying that people kind of thought that some of the episodes were getting kind of monotonous. Even like a channel as big as Deeplex actually had that, where people were tired of seeing the same type of thing the whole time. So because of that, using cinematics, you can keep it fresh and you can keep it new and interesting with the storylines. And I was asking myself, indeed, like, how long do scenarios like this, like you see right here, how long does that keep interesting? For example, what I can tell you is that a lot of you liked the World War One scenario. And for example, you could have 2 or 3 scenarios where you would have World War One characters charge in like at an enemy trench, and it'd be interesting. But if you would see that for the 5th or 6th time, would it still be interesting? Yet with a storyline or cinematic, you can actually keep it interesting because you can kind of change the story how you want to. You can kind of make a surprise twist or that sort of thing. So because of this, I was thinking of just using Man of War for the cinematic videos. But what I was thinking is, how shall I call that series then? Like I said, I currently have the videos under Man of War Cinematic. That's pretty much what I call all of them, including, for example, the Call to Arms videos. Because let's face it, it is by the creators of Man of War. It's all the same controls and same mechanics and that sort of thing. So I might as well call it Man of War because that is a more famous name than Call to Arms. But for example, is Man of War Cinematic, is that a title that sticks? Is that a title that depicts what I'm actually making, what I'm creating? Because for example, you could also say, well, you could call them Man of War Machinima, right? Because they're machinimas. I could call them Man of War fan movies or short stories or whatever. So what I would like to know from you guys is maybe suggestions for titles, like for a series title. Like Arma, for example. Arma is a very good, where I call it Epic Arma, and it stuck to the point where actually some people in the comments believe that the game itself is called Epic Arma. It's really fun how Epic Arma has become a big deal. And as I said before, Man of Mayhem, I chose just as a different brand name to have something different than Man of War, because there's so many Man of War videos out there, so that you won't be recognized. But I wasn't thinking like I'm going to make a playlist pretty soon, as the amount of cinematic videos that I'm making with Man of War will increase. So in order to make it easier to view, I will make a playlist, but I have to actually, come up with a good name. I mean, if the name Man of War Cinematic is already sticking with you guys, I'll just keep it like that. But I want to know if it actually makes sense. I mean, I actually looked online, Man of War Cinematic, and there's almost no videos out there of people who do that sort of thing. Actually, it was funny. I found a video about World War One, and I was like, oh my god, who made this incredible Man of War World War One machinima? And it turned out to be Napoleon Total War with a World War One mod. So it was an incredible machinima. So I was immediately inspired as well to make Napoleon Total War videos. But I was like, I don't want to do too much at the same time, so that might be a thing for the future. But that was pretty freaking amazing looking. But anyway, yeah. So keep please give me suggestions for things to come up. And now what I want to talk about is the Star Wars series. I hope you guys have been sticking around. This is kind of a long update video. Sorry, guys. But basically, the Star Wars Galaxy at War mod will have its first full release. There's going to be updates afterwards as well. But first full release going to be this weekend. I'm very excited. A lot of people are. If you actually go to their mod channel, a lot of commenters are going crazy as well. And they're expecting hundreds to thousands of videos being uploaded afterward. So what I was thinking, and what I am very excited about, is that I am going to have probably the biggest project on my YouTube channel thus far, which is a Star Wars cinematic series. I'm very excited about this. I have been wanting this ever since Arma 2 had its Star Wars mod. I was actually thinking for a while that I could do a story campaign narrative with Arma 3, with the Star Wars mod coming out and having updates. Yet that mod, of course, got cancelled. But this mod right here, Star Wars Galaxy at War, is so complete. There are so many units in there and planets and that sort of thing that I have it all figured out already what I want to do. It's going to be called Star Wars Factions. Actually, I was a little bit stressed out because I wasn't sure how to call it, because I was first actually going to call it Star Wars War of the Factions. Or Star Wars like Galaxy at War, just the mod name, but it's very long, and if you have multiple episodes, it's going to be like Star Wars Galaxy at War Episode 1. It's like you don't even see the title of the episode. But basically what it's going to be is it's going to be a narrative. I'm going to actually create the narrative, and it's going to be an epic tale of war between all these different factions, and I hope you guys will really enjoy it. I'm absolutely stoked for it. I've been wanting this ever since I did Raptor Wars on Epic Arma, and never since then have I been this like enthusiastic about starting a big project. It's going to be really cool and unique, so I want you guys to know that that's what you can expect from this channel. What I do want you guys to know, if you guys are big Star Wars fans there, and I saw the comments not too long ago from a viewer who was upset with a different YouTuber who did the Man of War Star Wars mod. But basically he was upset because this person did not make lore-friendly scenarios. I want you guys to prepare, or I want to prepare you guys to know that the lore, or that the scenarios that I will create will be anything but lore-friendly. The reason why I'm calling it Star Wars Factions is because I'm literally putting everything of Star Wars in it. It is almost going to be as the universe in Star Wars Conquest. So, for example, Qui-Gon Jinn will be alive. Darth Maul will be alive, but there's also Darth Revan, Malak, Darth Vader. All these characters are in the same universe and the same timeline for me. So basically, though I'm going to take elements, like for example how Jango Fett was used as the base for the clones, Jango's still alive, and that sort of thing. I'm not going to go really ridiculous to where, for example, you have like Darth Vader and Anakin Skywalker. Like, it would be weird. Though I was actually thinking of a solution for that, which I'm not gonna spoil. But if you think about what they do in Star Wars, you might actually come up with a solution yourself. However, yeah, so please don't expect any of that. However, besides, of course, the Star Wars narrative series, the Star Wars Factions, I'm going to just call it Star Wars Galaxy at War first, though, just so that that name will stick so people know what they deal with. But basically, I'm going to keep creating these individual cinematic scenarios as well. It's not going to be Star Wars only. I'm still going to do World War I scenarios, Vietnam War scenarios, etc., etc. So, in order to please the fans who really want the lore-friendly scenarios, I am going to recreate scenarios from the movie as well and present them in the cinematic way, like I did with the previous cinematic video. So let's say the Battle of Kashyyyk, Battle of Endor, the Battle of Jakku. You can actually do like the First Order will be there as well. And so I will try to recreate those scenarios as closely as I can possible by not using any units that were not there. And I hope you guys will be like, I am so incredibly excited. I'm so full of inspiration for this, people. I am, it's going to be incredible. I hope Star Wars Factions is going to be a really big thing. Please support it and please tell your friends when it's there. Expect it this weekend, the first episode. Though I do say that the episodes are probably going to be about 5, 6, 7 minutes each. I know that some people might want longer episodes, but it takes several hours to create one of those episodes, so please bear with me. What I actually might do, what I was thinking about is, for example, do like 6 or 7 episodes individually, weekly, and then put those together and make like a movie one, so that if people actually want to see the whole thing as a whole, they can actually do that. As a final short note, again, I hope you guys stick through the end. What I want you guys to do is please send me notifications on certain mods for Man of War. I have to say that Man of War, though how mod friendly it is, I've never had so much trouble getting certain mods to play. For example, the Star Wars thing is notorious in that a lot of YouTubers, well, not a lot, but a few YouTubers were able to play the full version or the beta version, yet this was not there for the public. I got lucky with a demo I downloaded a while ago. But basically, I recently got the Red Rising mod, which is also amazing and very, very big, and a lot of opportunity there. I mean, there's zombies there, so that's a good zombie scenario that we finally can make. Star Wars and zombie scenarios is too. I know that is being requested a lot. But basically, you know, somebody said the other day, like, I wish there was a Starship Troopers mod out there, or a Warhammer mod, and I see a lot of these mods out there on ModDB, yet they're not available to the public, and it's very, very difficult for me to get a gist of what mods are available and what not, because I've had people say, hey, please do a zombie mod, and I've not been able to actually get a zombie mod working until Red Rising was recently released, because before that it was only available to a small amount of people. So I would definitely appreciate some of the help there. So yeah, so guys, just to sum things up again, so please suggest a name for the series of these cinematic videos. Star Wars Factions, please look forward to that. It's going to be so cool. It might actually be the coolest thing on my channel ever. I am very excited. Though not going to be lore friendly, but it is all going to be very, very Star Wars related, and going to make a very, very cool storyline there. We'll also kill off some characters. I hope actually that, because it's also factions, that people will actually like certain factions, and you know, will root for them and be excited as new events unfold. Lastly, please let me know if there's any cool mods out there for Man of War that are worth checking out for some of the cinematic scenarios. Anyway, guys, sorry for the long rattling on. I hope you guys listen to this. I appreciate all your support and all the love you have given for the cinematic scenarios. We are definitely going to continue on with that, and I will see you guys next time.